Are you a real estate investor developer here in Southern California and are curious about where you can find good real estate deals in the area? Well, if you are, please stay tuned because that's exactly what we'll go into in this video. A quick step back, my name is Dominique. I'm a real estate broker. I help investors find fixers all across Southern California. One of the most common questions that I get from pretty much anyone that I talk to is, where are all the good real estate deals in Southern California? And the first kind of thing that I'll address before kind of getting into where you can find good real estate deals is what exactly good means, because honestly, that will change or will depend on your own personal goals and values when it comes to your real estate investing journey. A lot of people associate good with cheap, and that is not necessarily the case. There are a lot of good properties that are not necessarily cheap simply because of where they are located, what they are zoned, whether they're zoned for higher density residential or whether they're zoned for commercial or office or maybe some special type of use that can't be found anywhere else. And I think one of the big mistakes a lot of investors get into is they assume that the cheapest out there is the best deal that they can find. And that's not necessarily the case. So I want to kind of have you put that thinking cap on as I head into this video. So the first place that you want to look might not sound too jazzy, but it's the multiple listing service. So the MLS is still a key place where you can actually find good real estate deals. And I know that might sound kind of contrary to popular thought amongst real estate investors, but here's why. 93% of all sellers, the first thing that they're going to do when they're ready to sell is they're going to call a real estate agent. They're going to get that property listed on the MLS. That's just so from a numbers perspective, if you really want to increase your chances of finding ready, willing, and able sellers who are interested in making a deal, the best place to look is where they are already at, which is the multiple listing services. Now, I did not say, this is a key point, I did not say to go to Redfin, I did not say go to Zillow. I'm only focused on the MLS because there are certain things and restrictions that happen once a property is translated from the MLS into all the different sites like Redfin or Zillow. So you really want to make sure that you have either direct access yourself or you have a damn good real estate agent who is able to get properties to you that meet your criteria that are found there. Now, when you are on the MLS, there are certain things that you will want to look for specifically. You want to look for properties that have been on the market for a while. That means any property that has been on the market for longer than 30, 45, 100, 200 days. Focus on those first, because obviously there's a reason why that property has been sitting on the market for so long. And this is a very common mistake that I actually see a lot of investors do, is they'll look at a property that's been on the MLS for 145 days and they'll say, oh, something must be wrong with it. There must be something wrong with the house. That's why nobody wants it. That's exactly what you want. You are a real estate investor. Your goal here is to find properties like that nobody wants, to get them, and then to do stuff to them to make them a house or property that somebody wants. So those are exactly the types of properties that you want to go out for. And as you look at properties on the MLS, those that have been on the market for extremely long periods of time, keep in mind there are many reasons why a property sits for that long that may not necessarily have to do with the value. It could be a matter of the agent was marketing it towards Fannie Mae and FHA buyers, but the house needs work. It could be a matter of someone got sick in the family and wasn't able to properly show it. It could be somebody has maybe very strict kind of requirements in terms of you must see it Monday through Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. only. And there are so many different reasons why a property can sit that again are not related to its value and are honestly just related to just weird human factor stuff that you may not necessarily know about and that may not necessarily translate on a multiple listing service description, which is why you want to at least do the due diligence and make the phone calls and get the information before you go ahead and write it off. Now, the second place that you can find good real estate deals are through off-market properties. Now, what that means, because I know a lot of people throw out that word like, oh, off-market, like it's so easy. It's not easy. This is probably one of the hardest ways to find good real estate deals, but it does have a substantial payoff. So in order to find off-market real estate deals, the main things that you can do is you can directly contact sellers. So this is a matter of direct phone calls, text messages, mailers, advertisements, websites, social media ads, what have you, just getting to the seller directly before they've even talked to a real estate agent. One of the caveats I want to add to this is if a seller is really seriously, again, motivated and willing to sell, their first step is to reach out to a real estate agent. And so while this is a good way to find off-market properties, it takes a lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of time. And that's something that a lot of investors underestimate. You could spend anywhere from $1,000 a month for 6 months before you find a good real estate property off-market in this way, because you're really searching for a hidden gem, like a hidden gem amongst all the sand and everything out there, because not a lot of sellers who are, no matter if they're distressed, no matter if they're pre-foreclosure, as it says in public records, a lot of people don't want to sell and they have options to make sure that they don't sell. So you really have to kind of sift through all those types of sellers in order to get to the ones who does want to sell, but hasn't yet reached out to a real estate agent. Which also brings me to the second part of where to find good real estate deals off market, which is networking with real estate agents. And I know that kind of sounds weird, like, oh, why would I talk to a real estate agent? They'll want to get paid and that dips into my profit. But here's the thing, honestly, like real estate agents, that's what they're doing every day. That's a part of their business. It's a part of their business expenses. It's what they've built what they build their entire days around. And this is especially important if you are not a full-time investor or developer at this point. You'll want to reach out to real estate agents who are already reaching out to sellers and save yourself that time and money and let them know, like, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. If you have anybody who comes up with a house that fits this criteria, please let me know and I'll be the first to make an offer, so on and so forth. And there's a crazy thing too, where you can even set those deals up before they hit the market and avoid a lot of the competition that will happen once that property goes ahead and hits the MLS. So that's something that you also need to keep in mind. Now, the third best place to find good real estate deals here in Southern California, and my personal favorite, are through probate auctions. Probate auctions. So probates are properties that are sold where the previous owner has either passed away without a will or was somehow incapacitated and unable to take care of the property themselves. And so the court system will then step in. So I'm talking the LA Superior Court, San Bernardino Superior Court, Riverside Superior Court, so on and so forth. They'll have someone to step in, essentially take control of that estate, which includes the property itself, and then orchestrate or sell that property through the actual court system itself at a public auction. Now, I love probate so much because they happen every single week. Unlike searching for properties on market on the MLS or searching for properties off market, where you don't necessarily know when the next good real estate deal will come, you never know when you'll get a bite on terms of the bait you're putting out there for sellers or when you'll come across a good property on the MLS. With probates, because they happen so consistently, you know that eventually you will come across one or several actually within due time. And from my experience, you're actually better able to kind of time your pipeline when it comes to getting real estate properties and getting real estate projects under your belt, which is why I love them so much. We honestly do these a lot when it comes to finding fixers for our investors and even myself. Like, I picked up a $6,500 mobile home through probates. We've helped our clients pick up $400,000 homes in Los Angeles. And the reason why so many of these real estate deals that we come across through probates are so under market value is because there are certain restrictions that are put into place that keep a lot of people out of the running when it comes to actually bidding on those properties at the local court auction. Basically, they require that you not be a wholesaler, so that eliminates that competition. Traditional buyers who are using an FHA or Fannie Mae loan cannot bid on the property because there are no contingencies, because it is an auction. And quite frankly, you need to have either cash or you need to have a really good hard money lender who is familiar with the process and doesn't require or make you jump through all these different unnecessary hoops like an appraisal, this, that, and the other. And then at that point, it really becomes, so for that reason, it really becomes fair game for those buyers who are able to who don't have to deal with all the different hoopla that kind of comes with the financing component of their real estate development deals or investment deals. And again, that's why they're a personal favorite of mine. And quite frankly, the best place to find a good real estate deal here in Southern California, especially in today's very competitive market where there's no inventory. Now, one thing I do want to add to this video before I close it out is wholesalers. I know that I didn't mention them as a good place to find real estate deals, and there was a reason for that, which I will go into right now. On one hand, wholesalers might seem like a great place to go look for deals, but quite frankly, I think that if you're looking for properties on market and you're looking for properties off market through the ways that I talked about, whether it's direct mail, advertising, calling, cold calling sellers directly, you're pretty much doing what a wholesaler is doing anyways. And so you really cut out the middleman by approaching, looking for your own real estate deals in that way. And you don't have to pay that wholesaler's fee or whatever they're tacking onto the price anyways before the property gets to you. So that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, it really comes down to the math, right? So if you're gonna pay a wholesaler $30,000, $40,000, when it could cost you $10,000, $5,000 even to find that same real estate deal, it's personal preference whether you want to make that call or not. But that's just something to keep in mind, and why I personally left them out, because again, a lot of the deals that they're coming across, they find on the MLS or they find them off market in the same ways that anyone else could. So quick recap, the best places to find good real estate deals here in Southern California include on-market properties, off-market properties, and probate properties. Now, if you want further information on any of these, or you would like to work with an investor-friendly real estate agent like myself to help find your next good real estate deal here in Southern California, please use the links down in the description below. And even if you are not in Southern California but felt some value came out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button so that other real estate investors can also find it and benefit from it as well. But until the next video, can't wait to see you guys.